This is the Young Investor for the New Investor podcast, and it was another good day on the stock market as my portfolio increased its value by 1.06% or $546 day gains to $60,373 portfolio value. Now I have reached that 60K threshold forecasted last week, and it feels good. It is worth saying that my yearly gains so far have exceeded 20% or close to $9,000. I have no illusions that net worth does fluctuates, and I can easily lose these gains in a few days. But let's break this down a little so that should any of the following occurs, it can prove that there is never any reason to panic if you have both cash on hand and time. Should my portfolio, let's say, lose 10% in its value tomorrow, they call it a market correction, which in this case would still not make my stocks cheap enough to buy more, in my point of view, or spark me to sell them off as well, for that matter, apart probably from the Bank of America stock that would start becoming interesting when the next correction occurs. Now, should my portfolio at this stage, let's say, loses 20% in its value tomorrow, we can start calling that a bear market, at which point I believe through my own research, all my stocks will deserve reinvesting into, and it is not yet worth panicking as well into selling off your assets. That is, of course, my point of view, solely based on my own research, tolerance to risk, the patience I'm willing to allocate to the recovery period of the stock market, which always rebounds stronger over time, and on the fair price I would be ready to pay for my stock. So again, be ready with serious cash on hand when that occurs. Now, we talk a lot about possible recessions these days in the US economy, which generally occurs when there are 2 or more consecutive quarters that post a negative growth in gross domestic product, which is the total value of all goods and services produced in the country. Should a recession occur, it could potentially spark a financial crisis as well, which is a much more serious situation, indicating a very strong decline of stocks price, often caused by panic due to factors in the economy or sparked by other factors that I would not be able to explain to you and that I do not know how to explain anyways. Now, what I can be certain of is that the biggest investors on the planet find period of crisis as serious opportunities, and you should be able to do so as well. We are in it for the long term. We are young, we have time, we are not in immediate need of the money we invest. We are building our future, so it is up to you to define how much risk you can take on your investment as you go along your journey to financial freedom. Amazing wealth has been created since the last great recession from 2007 to 2009, only 10 years ago, as investors who had built enough cash could shop around for companies who scored double or triple digit growth since then. What makes absolute sense to me is that some great companies, despite crisis or recession, will still be around in 10 years and will keep growing, being leaders and disrupt the market as they go along. These are the companies I bet on, and I know nothing of being a trader to venture into the unknown. I keep things simple, and there can be millions of theories of what I should do or invest in or diversify into in order to do better, but I'm perfectly fine with the current state of affairs. I believe greed drives us to take reckless decisions with our hard-earned money. These are my comments in the present state of my understanding of my finances and the stock market. It will evolve over time as I will continue to educate myself. I will make mistakes, I will learn from those mistakes, I will make mistakes again, lose money, make money, but this is all part of the process. This is the best part. not necessarily the end game. I hope that you have found value in that episode and that you're already well on your way towards your financial goals. If you have not yet started, how many more books do you need to read? How many more shows do you need to watch? How many more people do you need to listen before you actually take that first step and start investing? In the meantime, I wish you all a bullish week ahead.
The podcast you just heard was made using Anchor. Ever thought about making your own podcast? Anchor makes it really easy for anyone to get started. It's a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing podcasts. Best of all, it's 100% free. Sign up now at anchor.fm/new. That's anchor.fm/new to get started.